Pain.
Okay, it's been a busy day tomorrow.
Call to order 4:25.
Uh-huh.
It is.
It is
There you
all,
go.
alright.
Blues on.
Okay.
Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome. Signature folder. We had a 2025 municipal assessment data certificate for the revenue administration, so we had to sign off on that.
Yeah, poll licensing petitions, a lot of things through, New Hampshire. Well, it says public service, it's, Eversource, Energy for poll licensing for new polls and things like that. Eversource is probably one of our largest taxpayers in town, because they're assessed on each poll, and they pay tax on each poll, right? So they're right up in the top 5, right, top 10,
Andrea,
Andrea?
I didn't know that.
she'll research it. Okay, and I'm just gonna add this in here, the fire department fee schedule, did you guys get a chance to review that?
I did,
And you all agree with it?
yep,
Yep, I'm fine with that. Mhm.
in line with other agencies and. These are for inspections and, for new construction, old construction, natural resource burning appliances, daycare centers and things like that. Do you have the total for that? Do you have it in there? Okay.
Yep.
So you do have agendas?
Hey, you get it?
Hey, you didn't get one? I made a copy. No, it's okay, I'm good, I don't like to waste the paper, I wanna see it up there.
Oh, sure,
I just wanna make sure you get the total, that's all.
yeah. Alright, make a motion to approve the manifest dated April 9th, 2026 in the amount of $42,310.10.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Make a motion to approve the manifest dated April 16th, 2026 in the amount of $76,369.43. 25,000 of that was the rec, for the Ospey Rec Center.
How much?
25,
Oh, we split that in half too?
yeah. Yeah, people, certain part, yeah, March, April, yeah, and then towards the end, October.
Cause I know we always did that with our nonprofits, but I didn't realize we did that with that, that's not a nonprofit, that's a contribution to the,
Yeah, we split in half.
okay,
I'll second.
All in favor?
aye.
No mail. And
Okay.
we got business, yeah, I'll do that after. Selectmen reports.
Okay, other than the various meetings that go on, as everyone is aware, when you look at the calendar, there were a couple of things that did go on. The road closure for one, and we were all called to, and I'll let Chris go into that. I did attend the Heritage Commission meeting yesterday. And was at the Historical Society today, and we were discussing all about the 4th of July and things coming up. 4th of July, we're talking perhaps the reading of the Declaration of Independence on Lord's Hill at the bandstand there. And some other things, if anyone has any ideas, by all means, please, on how we can celebrate. And we're looking forward to looking at the town's anniversary, of course, coming up, not this year. But it was very, very informative. If anyone can make those meetings, they really, really are informative. And everyone can use, we can use some advice, ideas, suggestions, anything. Other than that, it was pretty quiet with Easter last week, which I'm glad. So that's it for me. Easter was 2 weeks, well, from the last meeting, Easter came in between.
Okay.
I go by 2 week slots
What
with
day is it
meetings.
today?
14. Thank you, Rose, Chris.
So real busy with roads, getting ready to, pave Pine River Road, had a conversation with Jeff, I'm gonna be meeting with him again on Monday to get the exact, square yardage of Ospey's responsibilities and the Pine River Road. Yeah, so the elephant in the room is the sinkhole on Townhouse Road and the closure, and the emergency closure of Townhouse Road. So there's no right way to handle it. I think that the response from our emergency services and our contractor was done in a timely fashion on our road agent. Thank everybody for their help and their speedy response. And the resident that called it in. There's really no known number of how many people drove by and saw that, and luckily nobody fell into it. It could have been a lot worse. The resident that did call me was on her way to the transfer station and thought it was just peculiar pothole for that location. It looked a little deep, stopped fortunately on her way back with her husband and identified that it was a serious issue and was nice enough to stick around until I got there to direct traffic away from it. And yes, it is unfortunate the road was closed for 2 days and there were not a lot. Through social media in the town, we were able to get the word out there. The school district was accommodating as far as changing their routes when they had to. And while I'm on camera, there's no right thing. So we had people say, I came all the way in from Elm Street off of Route 16. I came in all the way from Route 16 on Pine River Road. I came in all the way in from Rifle Road. I came all the way in from 25 and 153 North, only to be turned around. There's no logistics wise, it's almost impossible to put signs everywhere. We don't have the financial means to buy digital billboards, which is the way to go, to put at every single one of these intersections, giving you notification of where the closure is. If you put a road closed sign there, that indicates to you that that particular road is closed. And cones and signage are only as good as the honest people that are out there that leave them alone, right? And what I mean by that is immediately, and Leo addressed this right away on Monday, is immediately the signs were thrown into the woods. I would like to thank Town of Ospey Highway Department for allowing us to borrow some signage, because we don't have the adequate signage. We will be addressing that, but we did borrow signs from the Ospey Highway Department for the road closure signs, and we didn't lose any. They were just chucked into the woods and some cones got displaced, but it'll be dirt for a couple of weeks. When they come to pave Pine River Road, they're gonna pave that. That's another thing I met with Jeff Perry from JMI about today. They'll pave that in. It's gonna be unfortunate that it will be dirt for a couple of weeks. It does, however, give it the opportunity to pack appropriately, so when they do pave it in, it'll last longer.
So the paving for Pine River is when?
Right around the 22nd, so, a week from tomorrow, roughly. It did have some three-phase issues in, I know the name of the Belmont, where their plant is. So their plant was slow getting up and running. They since corrected those issues. The plant is up and running. They felt like that may push them a week. And Jeff didn't realize that he told me the 22nd. He thought he told me that this week. So he said, no, we're actually on schedule then. So, but we'll be meeting Monday again to get the exact square yardage. They charge by the yard, and Ospey's going to be paying for their portion. We've already measured and delineated the distance and that right angle and so forth. Monitoring the dirt roads, Pine River Road's in really good shape. As soon as the rain, it's rainy, very rainy week this week, showers and things like that, so you don't really want to disturb the roads too much. I do know Huntress Bridge Road needs to be addressed and a couple other roads. Granite Road, Clough Road, Stevens Road have been somewhat addressed and more to come. The sand piles have been pushed up at the facilities, so we have a good a better look of what we have going into the winter months next year, so we'll look at that. A lot of material was cleaned up and pushed off to make for a larger parking and snow removal at the transfer station. The road sweepers were here. They will be back as long as you guys are good with it. So I'm
Sounds good.
asking, they'll be back to do Huntress Bridge and Pine River Bridge, Elm Street. If you guys are open to that. It'll be a little bit more than what we normally spend on road sweeping, but if you guys are okay with that.
How much
I'd like
more? How much more, or is it big cost?
I don't, I mean, I do know that, like, this year, unlike years in the past, they did the entirety of
Right,
School Street. They
all the
did,
offices.
they did need a truck.
Snow.
Yeah, Snow and Townhouse Road, around the Historic Society.
Corner
Yeah,
road.
Corner Road. That's something that's always done. They didn't have to do the fire station parking lot. They did Lord's Hill parking lot, I think. You guys didn't do Lord's Hill, right? Yeah, so they did Lord's Hill parking lot. They didn't have to do Station 2. But I would like to have him come back Friday. Will be in the area.
So do the two bridges,
Do the two bridges if you guys are open to that.
yeah,
You folks are open to that.
preventive maintenance,
Yeah,
yes.
He did express the need for some ditch work to be done on this road and some other roads. In the conversation, because of the culvert with the road agent, I will be putting together a list, and we've already discussed culverts that need to be replaced and addressed. What our expectations are for the contractor this summer work we'd like to see get done. Ditching is obviously a major one of those. Some of our new roads, new pavement, people cut the corners, you already see the pavement starting to get broken off, that all needs to be addressed this summer. So I'll give that list to Kevin, and we'll go over that with Ron. There are two culverts on Hobbs Road that need to be replaced, the beavers are back in, so made contact with an individual to start addressing the beavers. That culvert itself needs attention, and the one closer to Scott and Karen Libby's, that needs to be changed as well. Obviously, we have the culverts on Ironworks Road that need to be addressed. They did sink, the culverts are in good shape, it's just, it's
It's
a
a mud flat,
peat bog area, it's a mud flat, kind of one of the reasons why the state of New Hampshire, I think, used to use concrete, cause you kinda had that pad that would maintain the traffic until get you through the seasons, but, I would also like to, see what you guys think about Hutchins Pond Road before the summer kicks off. So I'm looking at the clock, make sure we got a
5
public
o'clock.
hearing, so.
yeah,
That's a highway to Summer Cottage, we don't really wanna spend a lot of money, I'm not suggesting we widen it. 2 cars can pass, but it does get a little sketchy because of the vegetation that's starting to grow in. Our winter roads contractor, procured a new machine with a mulching head on it for doing brush cutting. We have pricing, whatever, I would, like to, have a contact Elliot and Aaron and see if they could give us a price on, mulching and, brush cutting the side of Hutchins Pond Road. And doing it, sooner than before Memorial, maybe if they have time. I think that they would like to get some seat time in that, and figure it out, and, if they give us a fair price on, doing that would be a great location for them, it would be a great location for us. To get that done, it would make it safer for cars to
sure.
travel that road. I don't know, if you guys are
I
open to me
agree,
having a conversation, meeting with them, and they'll
yeah, let's do that.
get a price and let you
Definitely.
guys know? Okay.
Agreed.
And there's 2 bridges that I'll be contacting somebody that does welding and steel work in town. sooner than later. When I say that, within the next couple of weeks, by our next meeting, hopefully I'll have something to report back to you guys. The culvert right down here by Partridge Cove Road, the box culvert, there's some guardrails, there is some iron, beams that are still there. They're the beams themselves are deteriorated, but if somehow we can still fasten on that, make them taller and make them so that we can attach guardrail to it, and then start working on Hunter's Bridge Road.
Okay.
I would like to start doing that, sooner than later, again, if we can, get onto this
Right.
stuff before the summer traffic really starts, whatever.
Good, agree.
Hopefully I have a price on that
Right.
before our next meeting, so,
Okay,
as long as we don't have any, more sinkholes,
yeah, knock on wood.
so. I would have never expected or anticipated, but, yeah, aluminum, 3-foot aluminum culvert, let go.
12 foot deep.
Yeah, it was down there, so, any small, crossover SUV could have fit right in the hole.
Yeah,
And, when it started off, it was probably, half the size of a car hood in the pavement, so it did look like a small hole, but underneath, I mean, we're very fortunate.
yeah,
And, very, very fortunate, given the Sunday traffic, that nobody felt.
With the transfer station.
yeah, with transfer station, sure.
So, I'm all set, thank you.
Well, you'll be back.
I don't think so, I think I tried to remember everything.
Pretty much, budget meeting last week, went pretty well. Get the new, was it 2 new people came aboard, so introduce them to future budget process. Otherwise, pretty quiet except for the last 2 days. I spent quite a bit of time down townhouse with Kevin, trying to direct traffic a little bit, stuff like that, so. But it's open and, they're still gonna have to do some side work. What do we call it?
Abutments, and
Abutments.
the header work and stuff.
Yeah, they gotta do that tomorrow. They'll try to get it done, so. Otherwise, than that, we're good. No
Okay,
business.
I see on the agenda real quickly, that Rebecca's not on there, does she need to come over today?
I don't see it.
yeah, she's not on this today.
Okay. Thank you, sorry to interrupt.
No, don't. No, please. Outdoor event application. I didn't see that anywhere.
It's the last one was.
Oh, okay. So we got a outdoor event application for 1732 Province Lake Road. 8 to 1. It's a fundraiser for, can you read that? I can't read writing. Oh, it's for an individual. Yeah,
Barney, but,
that's for an individual.
yeah, for somebody.
So it's gonna be less than 80 people. You've been contacted? So we'll have police, present there to do the traffic routing and stuff like that. So,
I make a motion to approve the outdoor events permit for 1732 Province Lake Road
I'll second,
for April 18th.
okay,
second,
all in favor?
Aye.
Right. I don't think I have to sign this. No. Got a lot of business. Oh, this is on hold. Yeah. You wanna? Okay, let's do the roof project. RFP for the roof, this roof. So I asked Caitlin a week or two ago to, get the updated the RFP for the roof, get the quotes out there. Did you have a chance to read it?
Yep,
Uh,
so it's basically, it's the nature of doing business sometimes, is all the language is what we got from our quote we already got when we
Right.
had the roof assessed, so. I think it works great, so
Yeah,
As soon as she's back, she'd get it out and
Okay, good. And also for, 3-year road maintenance specifications.
yeah, so we have to do, that's probably gonna be a work session.
Agreed to
The reason
review it.
why is when we did the last one, we didn't have a road agent, so there's a lot of conversation that needs to happen that, accommodates road agent, into there, so.
Please make a note, so.
So if I may see that real quick.
You want mine?
You want mine? Yeah. So sections, so 15, basically 15 through 21. So you have like 15 is severe weather storms for checking, we have the road agent do that now. Same with 16, they set the schedule for grading, the road agent does, which is 16. 17, same thing, that comes from Kevin right now, and, you know, this would be all, that would all move right into, let's just say that, you know, the 3-year contract got awarded to the same individual, whatever, it would be seamless, whatever,
Right.
but
Yeah, so we gotta remove those.
if he opts not to, or even moving forward, it all needs to be changed, so.
Alright, so let's set up a time when Caitlin's back.
Yeah, work session, we need to have a work session, so.
Go through it.
Yeah,
Alright,
whoops. Is this? Sorry, knocked your paper clip off.
Now, next item, appointments to the Historical District Heritage Commission. We have, I'll let you do that since you're on the Heritage.
Okay. Where's the letter? Thank you. Okay, the, Heritage Commission respectfully requests the Board of Selectmen to appoint Maria Crockett to another 3-year term on HDHC. Also recommending the appointment of Mark Wood, who is currently an alternate, to a 3-year term as a full member to fill the vacancy created by Faith Martell, who is not seeking reappointment because she's moving out of town.
Right.
I make a motion to accept the appointments of Maria Crockett and Mark Wood.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Did you wanna open up to a discussion? I don't know, if Susan wanted, no.
Did you want to add anything, Susan? I didn't.
Sorry.
Yes, just to recognize Faith Martell and her service on the commission, and it was great having a person without gray hair on the commission.
I was there for a little while.
Why did you laugh? Rosemary's now. No, it's having a person sitting at the table, and it's good. But anyway, she's moving on, and Mark joined as an alternate recently, and he's got a lot of background in movie production and costumes and all sorts of theatrical
Theatrics.
kinds of things.
We had a nice write-up in Conway Daily.
Yeah,
Yes, he did.
so he's a creative type of person, has a lot of ideas, so he's stepping up. And Maria has been a great member of the commission and works hard, and we're lucky to have her for another 3 years.
Thank you.
Things are stable.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. And one more item, you wanna talk with the Freedom Food Pantry, we're talking to her. Thank you. Was that Freedom?
Nope, this is
No.
HDH.
That's, you have that.
So this is a letter from the Freedom Food Pantry, Vicky McVitie. Dear Select Board Budget Committee and Effingham voters, we are writing to tell you we're deeply grateful for we are, wait a minute, let's try this again. We are writing to tell you how deeply grateful we are that the Selectmen Budget Committee and Effingham voters have decided to support the Freedom Food Pantry once again in the amount of $7,000 for the year 2026. Decided at the town meeting held on Saturday, March 14th, we hereby request the disbursement of these funds. The need continues for our low-income families and in some cases have become worse. While inflation continues for all of us, the SNAP benefits have reverted to the benefits received prior to the pandemic levels in 2020. This has been a major disappointment to all of us, and especially to the ones most critically affected. Still with us, there are the supply chain issues. Government funding for USDA and New Hampshire Food Bank is unclear for 2026. Providing fewer food choices for pantries, predictions for the future are anybody's guess, and your partnership with us is, in the meantime, is extremely valued and appreciated. On behalf of our directors, board, and dedicated volunteers, please know how grateful we are that you have chosen to support our area families who struggle. We're blessed to be linked with community which comes forward every year to support those of us citizens who struggle to make ends meet. Your example certainly speaks to your commitment. Vicky McVitie, Director.
Thank you. It's not 5 o'clock yet. Announcements, you can do that.
We have announcements?
Do we have any?
We have a hand raised in the
Oh,
back of
yep,
the
in
room.
the back.
Hi. Just a reminder that the clerk's office is closed next Wednesday. It's been on the website and I put, a couple signs up, but I'll take advantage of the large audience this evening.
Thank you, Andrea.
Yep.
And at 5 o'clock, we have, where the hell are we? Public hearing for local traffic only, so a couple minutes ago.
We have 5 minutes. I don't know if you wanna start, if there's any public input, or it's up to you.
Yeah, we're gonna hit a couple public comments, less than 5 minutes, please. Who's first to go?
I'll go.
Less than 5 minutes.
Okay. So Chris,
Mike Cahill.
Mike Cahill, thank you, I forgot my name. You touched on Hobbs Culvert and, being over there and looking in the last few days. I had mentioned, to Leo that it looks like it's kind of rusting through on the bottom. I'm sure it'll get through another year, but it's not too great, but I was just gonna say, when you get around to replacing it, I'm assuming it's gonna be a poly with a smooth bore, which will be helpful, because a lot of that stuff, when we free it up, it kinda gets jammed. But if you could shift that culvert north a little bit and add a little tail to it on the downside, maybe 3 or 4 feet, cause the plow tires, go over that little spot there. I'm sure when it went in, it was probably convenient 20-foot length or something, but it'd probably be a safety thing for
Yep.
folks out there in the
So
plow.
Kevin and I did talk about that on Wednesday, nope, not Wednesday, Monday. Sorry, I got so messed up by working on a Sunday that it threw me off, I thought that was Monday. So we can go up to 10% as far as changing the skew of the culvert, and we can widen it, certainly, we can widen it and make the road bed wider. We'll have to do the same, or should do the same, as long as the, permitting allows, whatever, because it's an active stream bed, obviously we'll have to get, wetlands, delineation and that sort of thing, so, on both of them, so. Yep, absolutely. While we're there doing it, might as well make it wider and,
Yeah, it was just a little safer for the trucks to plow through there, cause their tires are hanging off the side, leaving, pedestrian traffic, that vehicles go down.
yep,
Sorry,
thank you.
Anything else?
not at the moment, I'll catch you on the flip side.
Okay, well, we still got,
3 minutes.
3 minutes.
3 minutes.
everybody up for 3 minutes? Okay, it's no takers.
Well, I'll go again, cause
I know you would.
The ZBA chair's in tonight, so I asked the office for some information, I wanted to look back through some minutes at the ZBA, and they're not on the website, so maybe I can coordinate with somebody to get some access to see those past documents.
You're looking for the past minutes?
Yeah, I'm looking for like 23 and 24, basically. they're not on the website that I know. They
It should be in the book,
It
the,
wasn't, it's only
wasn't?
this year it supposed to be in the book. Anyway, if there's somebody who has access to it, you know. Yeah, they're from there.
Okay, well, I'll talk to Caitlin, see what, she probably must have the minutes.
I asked her, that's why I'm asking you.
And she doesn't-
Because I haven't heard back in the last week.
Oh, you haven't heard back from her? Well, she was sick last 2 days.
It's not a big deal, it's a.
No, that's all right. Make a note.
They're softer.
And those are the minutes for 25, 24?
23 and 24.
All right, got it. Okay, 5 o'clock. All right, public hearing for, Town of Effingham local traffic policy. I'll get this over. You're with-
Sure. So I think this is pretty self-explanatory. It's through this process that we need to get public input and see if we wanna move forward with this. It's been posted as part of the advertisement of what roads we are proposing to limit to local traffic only. It would be Green Mountain Road from 25 to the intersection of Champion Hill Road and Drake Road. It would also be Pine River Road in its entirety from Route 16 to Elm Street, and Elm Street from the Ospey Town line to Green Mountain Road, and Rifle Road from 25 to Green Mountain Road. As far as the enforcement and that sort of thing, and the penalties, I'll let the chief touch upon that. In the ordinance, it does talk about doing some sort of permit. So for us, the permit would be your transfer station stickers. So that would suffice for the same purpose, without us having to hand out any other kind of sticker. The ordinance does afford for all of our guests to come and visit us, whatever, so that's why we don't need to hand out just a separate permit for that. It's the same thing they do in other towns. Tamworth has 2 roads that are local traffic only, and that's what they do, they utilize their transfer station permits. A lot of the conversations that go on are how we possibly enforce this. So the main driving force behind this is, most of our visitors that travel through our communities, they use either Google Maps or one of those devices. Those get updated, the last time that Google Earth and Google Maps was updated was the 23rd of June of last year. When they do those updates, unless a municipality has a policy like this in place, they include all of those side roads for shortcuts to circumvent backed up traffic. If anybody's ever used your TomToms or whatever to travel somewhere, you say the fastest route to avoid an accident, to avoid construction, that sort of thing. Without this in place, they can't update Google Earth to exclude these roads. So we continue to fall into that. So as soon as we implement this, if and when we implement this, we can send this to them and it'll be taken out as a shortcut. That is the fastest way it'll affect this. So to the folks' concerns about how we enforce this, it'll self-enforce itself because it won't be an option on their devices. But without this, we can't force them to take it off. So real quick, I'll just read the policy. The purpose of this policy is to mitigate traffic congestion and enhance public safety on specific roadways that have experienced a significant increase in non-local vehicular traffic. This traffic, primarily from individuals seeking to circumvent established state routes, has created hazards for residents, pedestrians, and cyclists, and has negatively impacted the quiet and rural character of our community. This policy aims to prioritize the safety and quality of life for the residents by designating certain roads for local traffic use only. This policy applies to the following designated roads: Green Mountain Road, Ryfield Road, Elm Street, Pine River Road. Roads listed in the scope section are hereby designated as local traffic only. Local traffic is defined as any vehicle whose operator has a legitimate destination, specific reason for being on that road, including but not limited to residents of the town of Effingham or immediate adjacent towns, individuals visiting a resident of the town of Effingham, deliveries to local businesses or residents, emergencies and service vehicles, public employees on official business, individuals with designated destinations along listed roadway. This policy is not intended to prohibit public access, but to discourage its use as an alternate through route for individuals who do not have a specific destination on the listed roadways. Enforcement. Signage. Prominent and clear signage will be placed at the entry and exit points of each designated road to inform motorists of the local traffic only policy. Warning. A 30-day warning period will be established following the effective date of this policy to allow for public education and awareness. During this period, law enforcement officers will issue warnings to violators. I'm gonna stop real quick just to say that that's the purpose of doing this tonight, to meet that 30-day window before Memorial Weekend. That's why we're doing it now, so if anybody wondered that. Penalties following the warning period. Violations of this policy may be subject to fines as determined by the Town of Effingham ordinance. Law enforcement will be authorized to issue citations to vehicles found to be in violation of this policy. I'm gonna interrupt again real quick to say, because this is a local ordinance, we're not in the business to make money. Absolutely, I just wanna start off by saying that. However, any violations and any tickets that are written by a local police department, that money doesn't go to the state. We just at town meeting adopted 2 new public safety, no, the revolving funds, thank you, holy smokes. For capturing any money that either the fire department, police department makes that doesn't go to the state. So in the event that they do write citations, this money would go into that revolving fund, which could be utilized for the future purpose of equipment, police cruisers and things of that nature.
Piggyback onto that real quick.
You sure can.
I wanna make it clear that it's not gonna be a targeting mission. Per statute, we cannot target motor vehicles just for enforcing this. If it's chosen to be enforced by the Effingham Police, it'll be due to another reason for contact, being motor vehicle violations, motor vehicle accidents, or any other contact we may have with those vehicles. So you're not gonna see us just sitting there stopping people and asking them where they're going and why they're on this road. That's not gonna be the case. I just wanted to make that clear, cause I knew that may be, a question or a concern of some of you, so I wanted to get that out there now.
Do you wanna touch on the fine schedule or the?
Yeah, through this discussion, we discovered that when we had our weight limits and our no through trucking, say on Champion Hill Road and Hunter's Bridge Road, that there were never any fees associated with that. I suggested in talking with the board that we adopt, if this does pass, a generalized fee schedule to be for a first offense no less than say $50, but no more than 200. Because then it can be for the entirety of the traffic ordinance violation. So if we, decide to enforce the no through traffic, we're not gonna charge them the same that we would for either a no through trucking or an overweight vehicle. The more serious being the, no through trucking or overweight vehicle should have a steeper fine, in my opinion, based on the first offense. Second offense would be, my suggestion would be to double it, no less than $100 and no less than $400, so that way if that individual is again caught for the second time, driving a no through truck or an overweight vehicle on a road after already been cited once, the penalties increase. That's all I have.
Resident permits. The town of Effingham will establish a voluntary permitting system to assist law enforcement in identifying local vehicles. Residents may obtain a free non-transferable windshield decal for the town clerk's office. This decal will serve as an indicator of the local statute. Again, that will most likely be our transfer station stickers, unless you guys tell us otherwise during this public hearing. Public notification, the town will ensure the public is notified of this new policy through multiple channels, including public hearing to discuss this policy, announcement on the official town of Effingham website and social media channels, a notice published in the local newspaper, clear and visible signage on the designated roads. I don't wanna sway anybody's decision tonight, but we did already buy the signs. This policy will be reviewed by the town of Effingham Select Board at the conclusion of the first tourist season following its implementation to assess its effectiveness. This policy may be amended or repealed based on the result of this review. I will now, open up to public comment questions. You may have been first, but you already got to speak, so Susan, I'm just kidding. You get to run this part. No, you get, no, go ahead, please, Susan.
Could you comment on, traffic volume figures that the town has collected over the last year or two?
I'll see if I can pull them up, hang on.
So I can tell you that, on one Sunday afternoon, and it wasn't even a holiday weekend. So the signs that the PD puts up, you'll see, it's the little speed signs, it's a little black sign or whatever. That doesn't capture any information except for the speed that they're traveling, and it's a counter of how many cars went by there. So on a non-holiday Sunday afternoon, on Green Mountain Road in front of your house,
I have it right
Yes.
here. Memorial Day weekend in 2024.
that's a holiday weekend.
Yeah,
I said the
I'm
non-holiday.
just reading it. 2024, and this is just counting vehicles headed one way. There was a total of 4,815 vehicles from the 24th to the 29th. And obviously, we have all the speed stats and everything like that, but that just gives you an idea of just the volume within, 4.5 days.
What was the highest
Like
speed?
1,000 a day.
I haven't.
Between 66 and 75 miles an hour.
Oh,
What the average was.
The average speed was 32.9.
that's good.
So the one thing, and I'll get to your question here, the one thing that it is created by this flow of traffic, so this might be a double-edged sword. So if we start limiting some of this traffic, that allows for more gaps between these people that are still going and forgetting about the local traffic, so they're gonna go a little faster. When you get that snake, and I'm gonna target certain roads, I'm gonna target Pine River Road, in front of you guys' house. It's a snake, they can't go that fast because, well, when they go by your house, they can go fast, but once they get down to Elm Street, they meet that traffic. So that snake slows down, so it does slow them down because of the pure volume of the cars that are there, they can't go that fast. So that is one silver lining, if you will. So if we start limiting some of that traffic, they're gonna go a little bit faster, but then that goes into the enforcement. Then it goes into the education of this, so.
Can I be it? Another thing too is, even with this ordinance in place, if we were to have, repeat violations, we can actually also charge them through the state for disobeyance of traffic control device as well. So we can actually, there's two prongs that we can, enforce it, being a local ordinance violation as well as a state of New Hampshire penalty, which then would be points on their driver's license if we felt it was appropriate.
Andrew.
So I just thought I heard through the clerk's office, is that right? Did you say the
stickers.
will
The
come-
stickers, yes, but that's not,
Alright, so
Yeah.
we have we can have a conversation later.
it will, this,
Sorry, I heard
what
that,
I'm,
like, wait a minute.
well, again, what I am suggesting is, it's the transfer station stickers.
Yeah.
They're free of charge already, we don't charge for transfer station stickers. Well, they're gonna be, expiring at the end of next month anyway. So we're gonna start it, we already ordered them, they might have actually be in now.
They're in.
So we're gonna start handing those out anyway, so those will act as the same thing. So there won't be any additional workload. That's verbiage that comes right from, the boilerplate ordinance.
Alright,
And typically, the town clerk's office would issue those, whatever, but if we use the transfer station stickers,
Okay.
It's already taken care of itself, so.
Alright, we can, like I said, we can talk more about it after, I just wanted to make sure I heard you correctly.
Yep.
Because,
Steve,
Chris, it's gonna be both ways on these roads, right?
of course, yep, naturally,
The
yep.
way it's been talked was everybody coming in to town, but you're still gonna get people that are routing themselves through
Yep,
on the other way.
yeah, and in the ordinance actually, it actually makes the statement that on the entry and exit of it, the signage has to be there, so yes, it's both ways.
Okay. You also made a comment, Chief made a comment about not targeting people, as you would like for Rachel or whatever, but I think some things are gonna stand out. If you see Massachusetts vehicles coming in with trailers behind them,
You still can't stop them for that reason.
It's per statute.
It's per statute, you still cannot stop them for that
who can
reason.
you stop that?
They have to do some other violation to, go ahead.
So it'd be any motor vehicle violation, whether it be, and I'm just gonna give examples, speeding, following too closely, not using their turn signal, not stopping at stop signs. Anything like that, and or any other contact being fender benders, motor vehicle accidents, disabled vehicles, anything like that.
Lane control issues.
Any contact that we have with that motor vehicle, then we can look into the town ordinance violation in and of itself. But we have to have a
Probably
legitimate
cause-
reason for contact before.
Oh, alright,
Yeah.
now I see what you're saying.
So there's always gonna be an additional reason for the contact, whether it be motor vehicle violation related, motor vehicle accident, disabled vehicle, anything. So there will always have a reason to be contacting the drivers.
Alright,
I got Scott and then Steve.
With half of Elm Street being in Ospey, would that override our request to have Elm Street delisted as a target with these?
What do you mean?
So we wanna, per ordinance, we would submit this to these mapping companies saying these are local roads, but half that Elm Street is in Ospey. So would they ignore that? Would that create
So
conflict with what
if
we're
you
trying
look
to
at
do?
that would flag it automatically on Google Earth and that sort of thing, because it would show it as almost a dead end. Know what I mean?
No.
If Ossipee didn't do theirs,
Yeah,
then essentially you'd look at that, if you were a motorist and you're looking at that, it would show at Camp David, with the sewage treatment plant, the road dead ends. So that's not an option, I don't wanna go that way.
okay.
Because Effingham wouldn't even be, it would be excluded from that mapping. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I was just curious how that was gonna work.
And quite frankly,
Question with Ospey,
there may be,
cause that is the target, is Elm Street, right?
yes, yeah, Elm Street, Pine, and believe it or not, in the absence of the availability to travel those two roads, the amount of people that go through Huckins Pond Road. Earlier I was talking about, cutting the brush on Huckins Pond Road, to make that safer for traveling. The amount of cars, again, that go through, they see that you can't go Elm Street, you can't go Pine River Road, 153, the state road, down through South Effingham past the fire station, it's the same way. There's just a lot of people here now, so they're going through Huckins Pond, that dumps you out in Granite, and I've waited 2 miles just below the Four Corners, if anybody's familiar with Granite Road, where it intersects with Circuit Road and Effingham Road, those 4 corners, just below that, I've waited there trying to get my kid out to, thinking I'm going around everything, get my kid out to work. And that was a no-go as well, so, but to your answer that, and I think you got something to add to that, so.
So I did do a little bit of a research into this. The town of Tamworth did the same thing with Page Hill Road. I don't know if anybody's familiar. They lowered the speed and they developed the no through traffic ordinance and submitted this to Google. That now just does not even show as an option. It automatically is gonna take you around on 113A, out and around. With us, even with other roads being in other towns, if this is adopted and sent off to there, it's just not gonna populate in whatever mapping computer as an option. So even if that road may be available, it's not even gonna take them in from Route 16 because it knows once it gets to the Effingham town line, that road's not an option in that computer system. So it's just gonna, send them wherever it's gonna send them, whether it be down 28 and out through Chickville or what have you, but.
No, I mean, to Steve's point, I guess, right, we're talking two-way traffic potentially.
So even if they're headed north, it's not gonna say take Elm Street and then it's gonna get to the Ospey Town line and be like, turn around. It's not even gonna make Elm Street an option because.
And even if it does, then it's still not our problem, right?
Right.
I'm just kidding. Hey, hold on, Steve, I got that Steve first, I'm
So-
sorry.
So, the signs themselves, if somebody decides that they're just not gonna listen to it, there's no recourse, we're not gonna stop anybody, they're just gonna go right through. And as you said, you're depending on word of mouth to stop them from coming, but word of mouth could work the other way too, hey, they're not stopping, you just keep going.
You're right, I mean, it's what I call the placebo effect, right? So it's like a water pill at your doctor's office, right? It's you know, you're kinda calling their bluff, it's the gamble. But having that, having the ordinance in place, so it takes it off in Google Maps, is gonna be our biggest tool. That's gonna be our biggest impact. You're still gonna get those people that have already trained themselves. They have their camps, their seasonal camps at these campgrounds, they already know these shortcuts. But the signage will help, and it's an educational tool. And yes, they know you can't be stopped just for that, but I don't think that there's anybody here that lives on one of these roads that don't know it's just a matter of time for each one of these cars is gonna get stopped for some sort of infraction besides the local ordinance.
Road
The
spikes
way.
are out of the question?
Can we have more patrolling for speeding then?
Absolutely.
Because, I mean, we've invited you to sit in our driveway, cause they come flying over the knoll there.
So they call that the Paul Revere effect. So the Paul Revere effect, and I'm sure you guys have all, if somebody's all seen, if you've driven, you know, you get a stationary radar that's being run, the car goes by you, and they start flashing the oncoming cars. The Paul Revere effect, so they start, you know, the British are coming, right? So they're warning you that something's going on down the street. So they can only sit there for so long before it comes non-effective, so then they have to move on to another roadway, and obviously we have 44 miles of road, so we have rounded off to 90 lane miles of road that they have to patrol and travel, and, so.
And yes, thank you for inviting us. A lot of times when we, pick our radar spots, we kinda do a surveying of the area to make sure that it's a safe spot for us to, you know, stop people, cause we don't wanna have to follow them for 3/4 of a mile. So, just because we haven't sat in your driveway doesn't mean we're not close to the area. I know that I've spent many of hours in your yard, because it's a good enough sightline.
Right.
Like, we don't wanna stop anybody on the other side of a hill or on a corner or anything like that, cause it's dangerous for all the other motorists as well as ourselves. So just because we're not sitting there doesn't mean we're not close by.
Steve?
Just a clarification, you keep talking about Google, there's a multitude of mapping apps out there.
There are, but to be 100% honest with you, I can't tell you what those are, so I'm not gonna say their names, cause I don't know what they're called. That's the only one I can remember, Steve.
Well, do you happen to know whether Google passes this to other ones, or do they have to find out for themselves?
We can submit it to not only Google, but Apple Maps, Waze, and all the other major
Right.
GPS companies. And usually when an update like that happens, they're pretty good about sharing the information.
Right, that's all I wanna know, cause you're just saying Google, you know, it's like saying, yeah, if you don't get onto TikTok, then, you know,
And
everybody else is free.
They're really good about sharing information. Like, you'll notice on like the major highways and throughways, when there's road construction, one has it, they all have it, and that all goes out to a database that they all share for the mapping.
You'll have to forgive me, Steve, I haven't had to use a map in 53 years of my life in Carroll County, and I pretty much
Well,
don't leave
they're all
Carroll
in
County,
English,
so.
so I understand.
Elena Pica, 64 Elm Street.
Thank you.
I'm generally not supportive of it. I don't think it's a big enough issue to warrant this effort. I think with regards to the mapping, if it's effective in taking those things off the maps, then that also means that people can't find their way to places they need or want to go in Effingham. For deliveries, small businesses, people going to High Watch for the first time. So that's a concern, right, even if people are just coming to visit you. I think it's kind of unwelcoming too, especially on Elm Street, it'll probably be like, here's the welcome to Effingham sign, turn around. And if it is signs that say local traffic only, the RSA that, you know, permits you, that was cited in the public hearing notice points to another RSA that says what things you can do. And with respect to signage, it says that it has to comply with the MUTCD. And there is no sign in the MUTCD that just says local traffic only. It's always associated with like, the road is closed ahead for some reason. So only go down here if you have business here. So I'm not sure what signs you chose, but something to look at.
Thank you. I would like to address the fact that, as he just stated, 4,900 vehicles one way on a weekend. Not a single one of those cars was stopping in the town of Effingham, I would venture to guess, to give us any money. And we all in this room shell out a tremendous amount of money for the infrastructure of this town to maintain this road. And not a single one of their dimes is stopping to go towards that. So if we can make some sort of effort to alleviate that, then I'm all for it.
I think, well, my understanding is that passenger vehicles aren't really what causes wear and tear on roads. And,
I think the dead
I think-
animals would
can I-
disagree.
well, we don't pay for dead animals except for somebody to pick them
That's
up.
right.
Yeah, but
Steve. Sorry.
So,
Enough, Steve.
I guess we'll finish on that part. I think I would hope that the selectmen have like reached out to the state about the highway, because that's really, there's not enough volume, or there's not enough, the highway doesn't move traffic in a way that people are satisfied with, so they look for these alternate routes, or they follow the map for these alternate routes to shave off a few minutes. So that's an avenue to communicate to another unit of government, hey, we have a problem, your infrastructure is affecting our quality of life. And the other thing is we kind of have to accept our lot in life, like, it is a way to get around the bottleneck or the slowdown, whatever. And if it really is that bad, then maybe, you know, that end of Elm Street should be commercial or something. Like, there could be opportunity to be found with Pine River Road. So maybe look at it more holistically.
Tyler.
Elaine, I just wanna like talk on the point that you said it'd be confusing to get to Highwatch. If their GPS is set to a destination in Effingham, it's gonna take them that way. This is
There's
just,
no road.
I wanna clarify, this is for like, if their destination is set to, you know, somewhere further south or like their home address. It's gonna circumvent this as a cut through. So like, if you had family coming to visit and they put your address in as Elm Street, it's gonna take you that way. You know what I mean? It's not gonna just be like, it's not an option, it's just if your destination is set for, so say I was traveling from Boston and my destination was North Conway,
Right.
then it's not gonna take me down there, but if I set my GPS to 244 Highwatch Road to go to Green Mountain Treatment Center and I'm coming from Manchester, it's gonna take us down Elm Street or across 25 to Ryfield Road, whatever way it assumes is gonna be the quickest. It's not just gonna be like, yep, sorry, you're out of luck. It's not gonna option it as a alternate route just
Yeah.
to circumvent everything, if that makes sense.
That goes back to Scott's point about if you can go down Elm Street some way. I don't know, it's weird. Guess we'll see.
I know a lot of us live on Green Mountain Road or those roads. On a Sunday, if I don't leave my house by 7 o'clock, I can't get anywhere. You can't go anywhere. I need to look both ways to check my mail. Because they fly. Don't shake your head, this
Oh,
is
you're
a
talking to
fact.
me? This is
No,
a public
I'm-
hearing.
Yeah, that's-
No,
yeah,
you're shaking
Steve.
your head, but these are facts.
Well, you look
Okay.
both ways before you cross the
Animals,
street.
pets have been killed on Green Mountain Road and people just keep on going. This has been going on a long time and it's reached a point where anybody that lives on those roads faces these facts that we have to adjust our lives to compensate for this traffic. It's ridiculous. Okay, well, you don't.
we Yep, let's all be, please, let's try to be civil, we all have our own opinions and everything has to be addressed to us and not individuals here, and I apologize for, and I get everybody's point, obviously it's a strong thing, right, especially if you live on these roads, so you very strong opinions about it, so, and how it impacts you. Is there anything else, any other comments, Mike? And then I'll get to you, sir.
So, I don't live on Green Mountain, the affected roads, but I certainly understand that once upon a time in life, I had a 4 mile stretch to the highway that every town behind me in Massachusetts went by my house, and getting out was ridiculous. Given that you're trying to do something here, I appreciate that. My only question was, is this 100% approved legally? Because, and before you answer, because my experiences with this before has been to limit traffic to a neighborhood that's being affected by some situation. And even if I was a, resident of the town of Effingham, I'm coming up Pine River, and it's like I can't go through there from either end or exit through it, being local traffic, it would be for the people that are affected in that area. So I know other towns may be doing it, but that's not to say everything's 100% above board. So you vetted this in other ways, municipal association?
Yes.
Town attorney?
This has been through town attorney, town council, and through NHMA,
Great.
absolutely.
That would.
And every single one of them said that this is to alleviate, so first of all, we went to them with concerns of our citizens about how can we eliminate traffic, how can we do this, how can we do that? A lot of them, it started with residents of Elm Street that said, I wanna go to the grocery store, or I wanna, and I wanna go somewhere, and I have to wait 20 minutes to get out of my driveway on Elm Street. That was one of the very first conversations and concerns I had. I know these folks got calls too, and past board members said, so it's like, so the question was asked of NHMA first, what is the best avenue? What is our best course of action? What is the direction, our first direction we should go in? And this was suggested, so that's that's how we got to this point.
Right.
So, sir,
Is it possible to lower the speed on Pine River Road? And what is the speed on Pine River Road?
30 miles an hour.
What is it?
30 miles an hour.
30? Green Mountain Road, could we make that 30 instead of 35?
It would have to be done through a public hearing, just like this.
town meeting.
Or town meeting, I'm sorry. It would be a petition by you, the taxpayers.
Because the other roads leading into it are 30. Pine River Road and
Elm Street.
Elm Street.
That would take town meeting, it would take a petition to change the speed limit, it would take and then, according to NHMA and according to legal, even that wouldn't hold up, because the state statute dictates what speed limit is for rural residential areas. So again, that's much like putting up a local traffic only sign, just saying that is, you're calling their bluff, it's a poker match. It doesn't actually hold up in court. He could write a ticket. If we voted to lower that speed limit at town meeting or public hearing to 30 or even 25, and he wrote a ticket, or any of the officers wrote a ticket, and they went to court, the judge would look at statute, and the statute says that in a rural residential area, state statute is 35 miles an hour, then they could still cite them because anything over that, but.
I'll just read them real quick. So 30 miles per hour is any business or urban residence district as defined in RSA 259-18. 35 is any rural residence district as defined in 259-93 or any class 5 highway outside the compact part of any city or town. 45 mile an hour for any unimproved rural highway, and 55 mile per hour on any other locations except as provided in F, B, and D highways, which are 65 and above. So that just gives you an idea of why they post what roads the way that they do.
You have a question, sir?
Yeah, well, I would like to make a comment. You had mentioned, town of Tamworth, posting Page Hill Road. Well, it just so happened, I think it was last fall or middle of the winter, I headed that direction and I've driven that road well over 50 years. And all of a sudden, there's the one-way, local traffic only. But to Atlanta's point, that there's a wedding venue right there, the public house. So it's not like it's unwelcoming. But, I stopped and thought for a second, and I went all around, I didn't go over Page Hill. And it just caught me that, okay, well, I went around, but, so I don't think it's unwelcoming, but I think it's a pretty smart move for our community. After spending enough time along the side of these roads and how they're fracturing on the edges, this, Green Mountain Road was paved, 10, 12, 14 years ago? And it's showing its wear and tear.
Oh, really?
Townhouse Road, not Green
Yeah.
Mountain Road.
Well, Townhouse Road just collapsed.
Well, be prepared for more of that too.
Right.
No, don't say that, don't say that. I will say, I just wanna comment on that, and as far as the traffic goes, and I mean no offense to anybody. So the largest impact, and this is a fact, the largest impact of our roadways and breaking down our pavement is trash trucks. Trash trucks are our largest impactor. By design, they travel on the side of the road. They're picking up a garbage can. So they're our largest impact. We're fortunate we don't have curbside pickups, we don't have a lot of that, but we do have private dumpsters. We have people that have their own trash pickup and dumpsters in the yards, whatever, but statistically, across the state of New Hampshire, I'll just speak for New Hampshire, New England, trash trucks are our largest impact. One of our other largest impact that we found out, anybody that's driven on Rifle Road, that was just done a couple years ago, is an excavator with a mowing head on it. Right after that road was done. And that's why there's a dip in that road. So the question is, well, how can we address that? So one of those tracks of that large excavator with that mowing head on it, that went from the Ryefield Apartments to the Red Barn, where we built the road up and compacted it and repaved it, one of those tracks sat approximately a foot to 2 feet in off of the edge of the pavement. And that's now where a nice little saddle is that the water sets in, and there's a crack there that we had to have addressed last year, and we'll have to have done again this year. To say that passenger cars, they don't have the impact, they're not as heavy. But if you put that volume over those roads, and there's a gentleman sitting here looking at me that did this for a living, and he hopefully will speak up and tell me if I'm completely off base, but that wear and tear does have an impact on our paved roads. Bob?
He's 100% correct, because we're building our roads for passenger cars. We are not building them, and I'm not against logging, but a tractor trailer of chips, that's over 100,000 pounds. It takes 1,900 car trips to equal one trip of that tractor trailer down any one of our roads. And if you really wanna find out what it's like to be on these roads during this time, get on a bicycle or walk your dog. Because it's not like we got the traffic and they slow down.
No, they
When
don't.
2 cars are coming and they're gonna pass at the same time where you are, they do not slow down. They will run you off the road. That happens. I've had him ride behind me for 15 minutes before he could get a place that you would consider okay to go around somebody. You know what I mean? So they're flying coming down here, and I'm on Green Mountain Road, they're flying. They come right over the hill, they see the straightaway, boom, they're gone. I don't know what and one last thing, the bridge at the end where the Hutchins Pond is, we have trailers using that road. I don't know what the condition of our bridge is down there, but you got campers and trailers running that road.
That's 6 tons.
It is restricted for weight, and the fortunate thing with, when you do have like travel trailers and things like that, they are heavy, but by the time the trailer's on the bridge, the vehicle's off the bridge. That's the only saving grace, because it is very short, but it is weight restricted. And I mean, when we had Elm Street closed for a while, they worked on Elm Street Bridge a couple years back, and boy, there was tanker trucks. I met a tanker truck, an Irving tanker truck, 9,600 gallons fuel on it going over that bridge, and I said, nope. I had absolutely no authority whatsoever, but I'm like, buddy, I said, don't go across that bridge, please. Don't go on that road. It's like, you can't go across that bridge. But it is weight restricted, so we do have that by design,
So
so.
the only way really, if we wanna hold on to the roads and carry the volumes that we're carrying now, we gotta increase the depth of the road. Simple as that. You gotta go with 2 and 1.5, something to that effect.
Thank you.
I just wanna point out what we see on Green Mountain Road. Our house literally is, our front door is here, the road is where that wall is. And on a Sunday afternoon, we've counted as many as 20 or 25 cars flying by the house, I mean, right on top of each other. I've been there 30 years, this is the worst I've ever seen it since they redid the road. It's like a massive throughway, it's very scary.
And I will say that I think that, to your point about in the last couple of years, when they redid Route 16, I think that the mapping that puts you around construction, puts you around congestion. I joke, and I do leave Carroll County, I travel to Boston, take my grandfather to doctor's appointments over the years, whatever. And you put in the maps and it'll take you around construction, it'll take you around a motor vehicle accident and things like that. So it'll put you onto these side roads. So when they redid Route 16, that was the main driving force. I mean, timeline wise, that's when it all happened. And now people are educated by that. So they're not using that. They just went there that way a few times. They know if they come down 153 from the Conway lights crossing West Side Road, shoot right across Green Mountain Road, they can skip going all the way down Route 16, get congested in Tamworth at the lights at McDonald's, and then again at 28 and 16. And then possibly, well, obviously they have the Union lights, but it's not gonna end the whole thing. But I just feel, and the board feels, that we have to do something to help our infrastructure. Again, these people typically aren't stopping to contribute. We don't have any, until recently, we didn't have a store in town for them to stop, get fuel or anything at. They're still gonna do that. That's Route 25, it's a state highway. The state of New Hampshire has a much larger budget than the town of Effingham for their infrastructure, for their roads. If we start dumping and they pile up more traffic, we all have to drive those roads too to get out of little old Effingham to travel anywhere. So maybe that'll open the eyes to the state of New Hampshire and they do something more with their roads.
Especially 153.
Yeah, there was always a conversation about continuing the double lane highways and expanding from Rochester. I don't wanna see that obviously here, but maybe it'll open their eyes that something needs to change. I will say that the likelihood, ever since 153 South was declared a scenic byway about 15, 17 years ago, the likelihood of that changing is slim to none. Just by that vote and that delineation, whatever, but.
I have a question for Tyler. Has in Tamworth, the roads that they have put the local traffic only, have the signs been up long enough that they've seen an impact change?
I haven't had a chance to really talk to them about it. I can certainly, speak to the chief over there.
I live
But-
on 153, I'd love it if it's,
I mean, I will say just my own thing, like I travel to New York a lot and we, just snap the GPS on and we'll leave the house and go, but I just noticed that the last time we went, as we go over Deer Hill from Madison and it told us to go around, I'm like, huh. It was just peculiar to me that it didn't even show that as an option, cause it's obviously shorter. And they did at a town meeting vote, they lowered the speed limit on Page Hill Road to 25 miles an hour.
So I have to ask him, did you go over it anyway?
No. All design.
You'd be surprised how they're sitting on it over there, cause they are sitting on it over there,
You're all set.
and they should be.
Go ahead. Call it. What's next?
Oh, I don't know. Is there any more?
it's, a lot of conversation about infrastructure and cost and all that, but I think the number one factor is public safety.
Absolutely.
It's just, the speed of cars, the volume of cars.
To start.
Yeah.
To start.
Absolutely. Mr. Tobin.
Any idea when they're gonna finish the paving, what month, or whatever?
Yep, so we're scheduled to, start the 22nd of this month.
I'm gonna miss the potholes.
So you want me to delay it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got another 15, 20 years, if you can wait.
Alright, folks, we're gonna delay the paving project for anybody that wants to travel Pine River Road, we're delaying, no, I'm just kidding.
I missed the potholes on Green Mountain.
Okay, nothing else, we'll close the public hearing, thank you everybody for coming, I'm assuming there's gonna be a mass exodus, I don't know what there is left on the agenda after this, but thank you very much, and obviously we will have to review, and there'll be a learning process through this whole thing, and we'll revisit it this time next year to see its effectiveness, and we don't have to have a public hearing again, but we may have a public informational meeting to see feedback from the folks and the residents, and periodically throughout this year, if and when we do implement it, so.
I agree, yeah.
Right.
Police chief providing detailed information and all that.
Absolutely, we can use our, our speed signs to, track the vehicles and the counters and just see if, statistically there's a difference.
Right,
Sure.
decrease.
Right,
Thank you for moving forward.
Thank you for
Thanks,
showing.
everybody, sir,
No, can I?
oh, yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
See the paving in spring.
If anybody misses one, drive down the Great Road. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, oh, you didn't get my text, I sent you a voice, I left you a voice. Did I send you that before? You sent me before the one I read, so I called you, last weekend. And, I asked you if you wanted me to
Got
forward.
the building committee, but I
First of all, I
was
said.
gonna finish up public comment.
The way it's done,
I don't remember.
I left your voice. So did you send it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, good. I forwarded it to you,
Yeah,
so it'll
okay.
probably show up in your email.
Yeah.
But I got the typical Jalen something or other response.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They responded?
Yeah. But
So
he just said, we're aware of it, we understand this, this, that, and the other thing. So, pressure on,
I'm just gonna start the limit of cars now if I can't tell us.
That
Won't be a problem.
I was just wondering if you get a chance, cause that's all vetted.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean, you can look at it. So.
Wait for a public comment for it.
That's right, I'd rather just have a conversation with you outside of, school. On
Like everybody else.
something
Then he moves here, right?
just to kind of track the money, and you can look into it and explain to me what I'm right and what I'm wrong.
I don't think we had any scenario, except for a contract.
No, this was an assessment. This is an assessment.
Oh, assessing
And
for,
I'll show you what I need, like,
Yeah, that's a
it's just
carryover.
numbers. Yeah, but I'll show you what my concern is.
Okay, we'll get together. Since the last 2 days have been really busy.
I'm always busy.
Yeah, well, with the, townhouse.
But because this is like a budget committee thing, because of that, I just figured if I could get together with you, you could do your homework and look into it. And, maybe a month. That's it. They're listening.
they are.
Then it's just, it's budget, it's just a budget thing related.
Thank you, sir,
Look
appreciate
up.
it. Alright, thanks.
Thanks.
Thanks, Mike.
Alright, public comment to finish up.
Is that what finishes?
So we can.
Yeah, we gotta do, gotta finish up. Public comment, then adjourn. We haven't adjourned yet.
No, I know.
Alright, any, public comments?
Any other?
None? Make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
You can leave that, I'll get it, thank you very much.
Time wise, aye, time wise, 5:50.
5:50.
I will not